Hi, welcome to This Expat Life. My name is Amanda Maxime, and as a certified coach, I help high-achieving expats find more fulfillment and happiness in their global lives. Because while life abroad is often amazing, it is not only rainbows and butterflies, as all experienced expats know. In This Expat Life, I open up space for all facets of life abroad and what you can do to thrive in it. And to support you in your personal, professional, and geographic life transitions, I share tips, tell relatable stories, and connect with fellow expats. Whether you've just moved abroad or you are a seasoned expat, This Expat Life is your place to find real understanding and to grow from the inside out. Enjoy the show. Hey, welcome back to another episode of This Expat Life. I am joined by a wonderful guest in the digital studio, Ana Tello. And 2.5 years ago, Ana was in the depths of migration grief, torn between staying in Germany or returning to Panama, and unable to see beyond the life that she was living. She had big dreams, but they felt impossible, unreachable, like they belonged to someone else. And that's when Ana started coaching with me and asked herself the question, what do I truly want? And that moment changed everything for her, according to her. And she realized the fire and potential she had within her, left behind the life she thought she had to live, and began building one aligned with her soul. And today, she is creating a conscious migration business, living between Germany and Panama, and owning her time, her voice, and her freedom. And Ana told me that in this episode, she is ready to share the raw, honest story of how she got here and how others can do that too. Welcome, Ana.
Hi, Amanda. So nice to see you here, and thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely. I'm so happy that you are here. For our listeners, just so they know, where are you calling in from right now?
Well, right now I'm in Panama City. I'm at the beach, so it's amazing.
Yeah. And so you are from Panama, and that's why you're splitting your time between Panama and Germany now, right?
Correct. So I moved to Germany around 10 years ago. So it's been a while for me, and being back home feels quite nice right now.
Nice. I can imagine. So, Anna, take us back to 2.5 years ago. What was life like for you at that point, and what were you struggling with most when your dreams felt so unreachable and impossible?
Oh, well, 2.5 years, I must say I was like in the bottom of my expat journey. It was my deepest point. I had a super bad breakup. I was living alone. I had my super nice apartment, my super nice job, my car, everything. Like I was really actually thriving, but I was feeling on the inside totally confused. I was feeling like I was stuck and that I wasn't getting anywhere. Like, okay, I made it, and now what? So I was feeling confused if the expat journey was still my thing. So I was living, but more of like surviving, like
Yeah.
just living the day to day and thinking about everything that I can do in my dreams, but not being able to really get there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hear this a lot, and I've experienced it myself too. So, your life looked wonderful on the outside. You had everything you ever wanted on paper, but on the
Yeah,
inside, you just felt stuck, right?
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you had these dreams. Did you know what those dreams were about? Were they clear to you at that point?
Oh, well, kind of. Like I knew I wanted someday to be like a person that had a more flexible life, but I was quite confused. So I remember when I started coaching with you, that was one of the first questions you asked me. What are your dreams and how will your dream life look like? And I was like, okay, I don't even know that. So I need to start looking because I've always wanted to do something big, but I couldn't see a clear picture.
Right. Yeah.
So that was like a big part of our journey together, I think. Yeah.
Nice. Good to hear. And what at what point made you decide like, okay, I need to change something about my situation? Like what was the turning point for you or the trigger?
Well, I think at that moment I was probably depressed, but I don't know, like I was really crying almost every day because I didn't know what to do with my life. I didn't know, should I go back home? Should I stay? uh, what's the next step? How do I make myself happy? So one day I was just like, I cannot stay here. I cannot stay like this. Like if I stay like this, I will be miserable and I need to change that. So that was the moment where I started searching for help.
Yeah. And what had you tried already, actually? So to take another step back.
Before that,
Yeah.
oh, not much, I must say. I didn't have a lot of tools. So I tried a lot of psychologists,
Mm-hmm.
but that wasn't really working that well for me. It was good to talk, but not to take action. And I've tried like just developing myself in my environment, like going out, having friends, always staying in contact with my family, trying to be part of both worlds. But I didn't have much tools, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
And was living abroad also, did it make it more difficult for you to take action or to change something?
definitely, definitely. I was very afraid, especially because I'm living in Germany. So there are a lot of rules and there are a lot of ways in which you can like
Yeah.
mess up.
Yeah.
So I was really afraid, okay, how do I manage with money or how do I move? And being alone also like moving to another city or just like changing your environment, it takes so much work. You need to get your friends together. You need to, I don't know, it's just so overwhelming that taking a choice on your own, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
overwhelming. It's just overwhelming.
Yeah. I think many of us know what you mean when you say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're in this overwhelm trying to change. You're getting stuck. You are crying a lot and you realize, okay, something really needs to change and I need support. What prevented you from reaching or finding that support in the first place? And what was really like the, okay, now I have to do something about it.
Well, I think it was not knowing that this support was available. So let's imagine 2.5 years ago, I didn't even know there was like a expat coaching world. So I
Yeah.
knew there were coaches. I was also having doing a coaching certification at the time, and I was just like, there must be someone that's helping out expats out there somewhere. I don't know who, but somebody
Yeah.
must be doing that. And that's where I started like searching. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And that's when you found me and booked a discovery call.
Yes. And I was so skeptical at the beginning because I went into your page and I had like a few options, but I really didn't like them. Like your page was the one that really called me out. And you just wrote like the same words that I was thinking. You know, I felt so related to your story, to how you were writing. So I was like, okay, I'll book this and let's see. But I was like, maybe it's a scam, you know, like I was very like,
Yeah.
this is very new, the resistance.
Yeah.
But I was like, I have no other option. Like, I need to try it out.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So you're not the first one, I think, to experience this resistance to book a coaching call or to believe in the power of coaching. So what was the resistance really about for you?
Oh, well, I think of not knowing what was coming,
Mm,
not being able to see further behind the call because
yeah.
I knew, okay, well, she will coach me, but how will that look like? And will I really change? Is my investment worth it? So there were a lot of questions around that. And I think what made me really take the decision was thinking, if you don't do it, you will stay in the same place. If you do it, you will maybe go a few steps further. Even if it's a little bit, it will be in the right direction, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah. I
you
love
will
it.
be moving
Yeah.
and you won't be stuck.
Yeah. And was I able to take away your resistance and objections in the discovery call?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I will never forget about that. So you really took away the resistance, like the first call. I was mind blown. So
Mm.
I remember, I will never forget about this, that on the first 15 minutes, I was crying.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was so impressive how you disarmed me and showed me that my main issue what was that I was overprotecting my inner child and was afraid to make a move because of hurting her.
Yeah.
And I just went out of the call crying, called my dad, like, Dad, I'm I'm going in. I don't know how I will pay it, but I'm going in because she disarmed me. And my dad, I told him about what you said, and he was like, wow, yeah, that's the truth.
Wow, Anna, you're giving me goosebumps.
So
Wow. Okay, I didn't actually know about this.
I
How
know.
you left the call. Wow. Wow, that is so nice to hear.
Yeah, yeah. It
um, yeah. So
it
that was
was
your aha
amazing.
moment that shifted it for you, right?
Yes. Like realizing that my journey was way more complex than I expected
Yeah.
or that
Yeah.
I knew about. Yeah.
Yeah. So that realization, did it also change something about your belief in yourself that you were able to change?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So I was really curious to see how we will target these points and everything that will come out on the way because I remember 2 years, 2.5 years ago, I was feeling very guilty also
Yeah, I
of being an
remember.
expat, remember?
Yeah.
So I was living in the shadow of something that never existed. So I was just
Mm.
building it up in my mind because I wasn't in the right position that I had to be, right? So in the moment when you told me, okay, let's work on that, let's go into this area, I was like, okay, what's possible? What's behind that? So it was the curiosity that really made me take the decision.
Yeah, amazing. And so what during our coaching, what changed for you?
Well, a lot of things, like so many things. I even wrote notes because
Nice.
I'm a high achieving expert, so
Yeah,
we
yeah,
need
I know you.
notes. So yeah, I think the biggest thing was that I realized how complex it is to be an expat and how it brings up a lot of topics related to your maybe your childhood or your family system or your relationship with money or with receiving and giving. So it's so complex, and that was so interesting for me to see, and it's also what motivated me now in my current goal, um, because I realized too little people know about that, and I moved from being a guilty person to being like a very fulfilled expat, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it took a while,
Hmm.
but it did so much. Like we also worked on my relationship with money, which
Yes, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even knew it was so destroyed, right? So I'm still working on that.
Yeah.
Like it's a big topic for me,
Yeah.
and also realized that I was hiding. I was hiding, I was blocking, I was living in fear and anxiety, and I couldn't see behind that. And now I can.
Hmm.
And you made me realize that everything is possible,
Mm.
so that if I put my mind to it, everything is possible. You
Wow.
just need to do the work.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that you say this because I live by this and I have I'm a optimist by nature because I always believe that the future is better. The
Yeah.
future has great things for us in store and I really believe that anything you want is possible. And I always hope that I can convey that message, but coaching really is about, I'm facilitating your growth. I'm asking you questions. I'm not here to mentor you or to teach you. Um,
Hmm.
But the fact that you really learned this in our coaching, that makes me so happy because I wish more people could live their lives that way because
Yeah.
it will create a lot more happiness in the here and now, I think.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think this mindset shift that you gave me or made able for me was mind blowing. And now I'm like preaching your message, you know. So I
Mm.
think it's like so beautiful to see like how just how many sessions did we had? Six,
6.
I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
6 sessions can really like change your life. And
Yeah.
I've been seeing it now with myself over and over again. And people sometimes think I am the Lulu, like, oh, you're always looking for a coach, or coaching is now
Yeah.
you're in a cult, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And
They
I'm
say the
like,
same to me.
yeah. But
Yeah.
it's like yeah, maybe it is a cult, but I love the cult
Yeah. I
because
want to be in the cold.
yeah, like I've seen so much growth
Hmm.
and it's such a beautiful work. I love it. Like,
Yeah. And tell me about the tangible things in your life that changed because you made some big moves. So what
oh
has
yeah,
changed?
I did some crazy stuff. So
Yeah.
let me tell you about that. It was I think we stopped coaching around June.
Yeah.
June was our last session, I believe, and that was heartbreaking. But I had so many things to work on, right? So
Yeah,
we
I
had
remember. Yeah.
my system, my family system, my money relationship,
Yeah.
my guilt. So there were so many points, and I started working on all of them. So everything you gave me, I started shifting. So a great example is also my family system. I
Hmm.
used to be in the middle of my family system or in the top, and
Yeah.
now I'm at the place where I belong.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So just some subtitles for the listeners. I also work as a systemic coach, or I do some systemic work. And family systems are like we all live in systems. You are part of systems, and your family is your primary system, your family of origin. And there needs to be a certain order there. And we saw with you, Anna, we did a little constellation. And I remember with the things that we use, the little mini bottles from the mini bar.
it was
Um,
so great.
yeah. So with my online coaching, I always ask people either to write down a few things on papers and stand on them to really feel, to place the constellation, to place the system around you and really feel it. And sometimes we use little objects that you can place in front of you on the table. And you just point your camera to it and then we start playing around with that. And I asked her, do you have small objects available? And Anna, you're like, I only have these mini bottles from the mini bar. So that was so funny. And we saw that you were like right in the middle of your system, right? With where trying to get everyone's take everyone's responsibility, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we did some work there and well, you did most of the work. And I'm so glad to hear that now you are in the natural order, it seems.
Yeah. And that helped me a lot to take the decisions that or the actions that I'm taking now because that was the base of starting to live a guilt-free expat life. So
Ooh, love it. Yeah.
yes. So I put myself where I belonged. I'm
Hmm.
putting my limits and I'm saying I'm building my own life. Everybody's a part of it, but I'm living for myself. So
Yeah.
then I started taking bold moves. And
Hmm.
it was around September that I decided I'm going to quit my corporate job
Yeah.
and I will go solo. I will open my company. I will be a coach in migration for Germany, and I will build a life between two countries.
Yes.
So, which was my dream.
I
We talked
remember.
about it
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
first session, and I
Yeah.
told you I want to be able to move back and forth as much as
Yeah.
I can, right?
Yeah.
And I said, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I armed myself up and then I said, I'm gonna do it. Worst case, I will just get another corporate job and figure it out
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the biggest thing I did. So December last year, I officially hand in my announcement to my company, and since March, I'm free.
Well, you know that meme where you say, I used to work 9 to 5, now I work 24/7 as a
Yeah,
business owner. It's true.
true. It's
Yeah.
true. Like it turns into your passion and it's your baby, but it feels
Yeah.
different.
Yes,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
So how did people respond to your move? Because I actually never asked you that.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I think I've never think about it myself much, but actually, everybody was kind of like expecting it.
Huh. Okay.
Uh-huh. So everyone was like, "Oh, you finally did it!" Like, wow. Like everyone was like, "Wow, you're so brave," and they were so impressed that I was taking such bold moves. But at the same time, it was like, well, I didn't expect anything else from you. And seeing that is also like, okay, people see me differently than I see myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was amazing to see all of the support also. I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting the amount of support that I was getting.
Yeah. I love this because, and I hope the listeners are really taking note because we often view ourselves differently than others view us. And they see our qualities more than we see our qualities. And also, there's a lot more support available than we think before we make a big move. We think people are going
Yes.
to judge us, we're going to feel ashamed, we're going to be fearful. And it's often not the case. People are there to support
Mm-mm.
us. Yeah. I'm really
Yeah.
glad that you had the same experience.
Yeah, thank you. It was incredible, like seeing just people being aware that I am there. So I felt seen, you know. And I also realized how important it is as an expat to have a community around you.
Yeah.
And maybe not only physically, but also digital, like being in contact with everybody you can. So it was wonderful.
Absolutely. That's also one of the reasons why I offer like bonus group calls every couple of months for my coachees because they're always like, "Oh, I don't need any group support." And I'm like, "You don't know that yet. Come inside my
Yeah.
world." And then I organize the group calls and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know that person was exactly going through the same thing." Or I just felt so relieved hearing about her story or his perspective. And yeah, so I really emphasize as well the support that you can get from online communities, whether you're an expat or entrepreneur or both, or going through
Yeah.
something else. Find your people because you need people in your corner.
Yes, and especially I think like expat women, we're all like, oh, I can do everything alone and I
Yeah,
am so strong and I don't
yeah,
need help. And it's like, you could do it alone.
yeah,
You can, but do you want to?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you're missing out like on so much love and
Mm,
companionship. And why do you want to do it alone? To prove who, what?
yeah, exactly. And you also go
Yeah.
much faster if you find support,
Yes.
right? Yeah, whether that's a
Yes.
community or a coach or a program, you can go much faster if you stop doing everything on your own.
Yes.
Yeah.
It turns easier.
Yeah. So, Anna, tell me, I always love hearing about this. What was maybe the most memorable exercise or thing we did in one of our sessions?
Okay. Well, I think we already talked about two. The first one was the first discovery call.
Yeah.
That was very impressive. Like I'll never forget like how I was crying like after the meeting.
Hmm.
Uh, Also the session with the bottles.
Yeah.
So where we placed, we already talked about that. And I think something I will never forget was the exercise of the bus.
Yeah. The famous bus exercise. Yeah.
Yeah, so when we did that, and it was the first time I was coming in contact with this type of exercise.
Hmm.
So realizing that I have so many Annas inside of me,
Hmm.
I felt crazy, you know? I
Yeah.
was like,
Little
oh,
schizophrenic.
yeah, I'm schizophrenic. I was telling my friends about it, and they were like, are you okay? Like,
What kind of coach is that? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I will never forget that. And also my first visualization. So I
Yeah.
also did my first visualization with you.
Yeah. Was that the one I sent to you about the future self? Yeah,
Yes.
because sometimes I do visualizations on the spot with people too.
Okay.
Just a little subtitles again for the listeners. So the bus exercise is where we break you up into different personas and see who's really driving your bus, aka your life. And this exercise is a favorite among my coachees. And it's also the reason why I put it in my program, the co-pilot. And it's a game changer for so many. Because it helps you to externalize things that are going on inside of you, things that you aren't fully aware of, and to make more conscious choices in your day-to-day life. So I love
Mhm.
that exercise. And the visualization, I like to add these kind of things because the people that I tend to attract, and I think you're pretty similar, are smart, high achievers. They move fast. They rely a lot on their intelligence and their brain, their cognitive skills. And they forget that they have this whole array of different information sources available to them. And so
Yeah.
with visualizations, you can switch off that busy brain, the usual thinking loop, and tap into your intuition, your imagination. And that brings
Mhm.
new images, new perspectives, but also new dreams or new hope or just new energy. And so, yeah, I love that it's also one of your most memorable, things that we did in our coaching. Do you
Yeah.
still do these visualizations?
Yes, of course. And I tried at the beginning. So when we stopped coaching, I tried to do them. It was more complicated. But
Mm-hmm.
now with time, it's turned into like one of my favorite skills that I also use with my clients now,
Nice.
where I say like, how do you imagine like your perfect life? So try to play a little bit with that, like don't have any rules. And every time I can see more and more and more. So
Yeah.
it's an amazing tool just also to see a different world of possibilities.
Yeah. And I love that you say, imagine a world without rules, because I think a lot of us are so drilled by how we were raised, norms from society, what expectations from our family or whoever. And we carry, I think, with us a bit of fear and shame all the time. And
Yeah.
that we put masks on or we try to frame ourselves in a certain way. We do this
Mhm.
unconsciously. And to say like, okay, let's remove the rules, I think it's very powerful. And to really open yourself up for, hey, actually, those things that I am secretly dreaming of, I can have them if I remove those rules.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. What were some rules that you had to remove for yourself?
Oh, great question. Give me a second here. I
Sure.
think. Mm, okay. This is a really hard question,
You know,
but
I
I
like to
think
I like to ask tough questions.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. I do the same. So
Good.
I think one of the biggest uh, rules that I had to break is that my life had to be normal, so that I had to be
Mm.
normal. So this thing you get said as a kid, teenager, in your first college years, like you have to be normal, like you have to
To fit in,
go to
right?
work. Yeah, you have to fit in. You cannot be yourself. You need to impress. You need to be friendly. You need to be this way
Yeah.
and this way and this way, so that you get that and that and that. The work, the car, the house, the family, and
Yeah.
that's life.
Yes.
So that was the rule that I was given, and when I was there, living by these rules, norms of society and expectations of society, I was like, this cannot be it. You're
Yeah.
kidding me.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big, big rule. And also the rule of not being yourself, or that you had to be ultra professional to
Yeah.
connect with people or to sell something, or to be respectable.
Yeah, and it's so, I can really see a shift in how you're showing up because I got to know you pretty well over those 4 months together. I saw you also in Amsterdam when I hosted my live event. I see you
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram, and since you quit your job and you continue your personal growth journey, right now I still see you, the you that you were before, but there it feels like a mask has fallen off, and I
Yeah.
get to see you more clearly now and your energy and like you're really owning who you are, and it's just
Yes.
so beautiful to watch.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is true. Like it took me a while to break that down, but really living to my true self or potential, or not listening to what people say that I'm supposed to be like, especially if you're a coach, especially if you're working corporate. Like just bringing your energy in and being who you are has changed my life. Like,
Yeah. And also, because you're an expert in Germany, I can imagine that you used to deal with like I need to behave or be a certain way to fit in here, right? So are you
yes,
now also showing up as the real Anna there?
definitely I am. And I started doing that with you already.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember when we stopped coaching, I was like, okay, I'm just going to be more me. And I would say, even being in the corporate environment, that showed a lot of fruits because people were really connecting with me, like even the Germans, where you expect, like, okay, she's a Latina, she's very loud, she's very energetic, she's very too much, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Extra.
yeah.
And the Germans were loving that. So I
Mm.
was like doing an energy exchange with them,
Yes, nice.
and it was so nice because they were giving me so many things and I was just like giving my energy. So people would come to me just to chill, to talk, to thank.
Yeah,
And that was great. Like that
I
was
love
really
it.
great. And also as an expat, like my reflection of as an expat, like you move somewhere and you feel you need to fit in at the beginning and you need to left your identity behind. And it's like, no, you need to like reinvent, but on the base of your identity, in my
Yes,
opinion.
yes, yeah. I
So
yeah, yeah,
that's what I did. Like,
yeah,
just take me with a little bit of Germanness
yeah.
and
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So your foundation needs to be you, the core needs to be you, and then there's this
Yes.
outer layer that is more flexible and that can adapt and adjust itself. And I notice it too when I go back to Brazil. There's a different Amanda coming out,
Yeah.
um, and I can adjust accordingly. But the core is so stable because I really know who I am, and that doesn't
Hmm.
change, and I really own it. And there's just a sprinkle that can adjust. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, what would you say to someone listening who feels lost or disconnected from their dreams while living abroad, like you were in the beginning?
Well, I will tell this person to really work on the idea that everything is possible and that nothing is black or white. This is also something
Oh,
you
yeah.
taught me.
Oh, good.
And yes, that you can create your possibilities and never forget the power that you have and remember what you've done until now.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a buildup. I will say, like, first of all, sit down and remember, look back to everything you've achieved. Like, recognize your power and imagine what you could do with that power, like somewhere else, putting the energy somewhere else and reminding you're the builder and you achieve whatever you want.
Yeah.
So just get out there, take the chance, take the experience, do it for the plot,
Yeah. Yeah.
and see where it takes you.
Yeah. I love that. And if someone is, has been thinking about coaching or a program and they're a bit hesitant or skeptical like you were, what could they do to overcome that objection and also to make the most out of coaching? Like, how could they show up in the best way?
Okay, well, I think the person has really to be determined to make a change. So first of all, like I really tell everyone that's wanting to enter coaching, recognize that you have a need or that you want something and commit with that.
Yeah.
So I think that's the best way to really like make your coaching journey valuable because I think with every coach you go to, you're going to be able to see a change if you are invested.
Yeah.
So the coach is not going to do the work for you. The program is not going to do the work for you. The cost of the program, what you're investing, it's not going to do the work. You're going to do the work. So
Yeah.
stay in the program, do the things that you have to do, and uh, remember that you're the owner of your change. And I would say to everyone, try it. Like try to see it, try this new perspective. What do you have to lose?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yeah, some time and money, but yeah. But there's, like you said in the beginning, like you'll learn at least a little bit from it. And if I don't,
Yeah.
it will stay the same. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think maybe you lose a little time and money, but you always have a learning from that time and money. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
you will learn what you like, what you don't like, and the next time that you are open to look for a coach, you will
Yeah,
know what you need.
exactly. Yeah. I always say, and I got this from my own business coach, it's either a success or a lesson learned. And I really live by this principle. And when you go through life that way, I feel like it sets me up for more success because I am more prone to taking action. Because either way, I'm
Yes.
winning something,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes. And it's also that perspective shift. Like you're always winning.
Yeah.
You're never losing.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not going backwards. You're always moving.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Okay, and then the final question that I have for every guest on the show. What is your number one hack to make living abroad easier, better, or more fun?
Okay, great question. Well, I think my biggest hack, like life hack, because I like to stay connected in the world that I live in. My
Yeah.
biggest life hack with it would sound like hilarious, but it's having like a clock on my phone where it says the time of both
Yeah,
countries.
exactly. Yeah. I love
So
that actually. Yeah.
it's kind of insane, but it reminds me always that I have another life or another area that is there and it's part of me,
Yeah.
so that I don't disassociate so much between both.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember in our very first session, I think we spoke about like how you can be present in both countries, right? And this is
Hmm.
such a simple but like useful tool because you see your phone all the time.
Yeah.
We're all addicted. And so you keep being reminded of like, oh yeah, my heart, the piece of my heart is also still there.
Yeah, and it's nice because you also like it's 4 p.m., 5 p.m. in Germany. I know, okay, my partner is out of work. He's probably going here and there. Maybe I should give him a call and
Yeah.
try to connect.
Yeah.
So I am more connected with both worlds and I can really also share with people. So this also makes my experience enjoyable. Like be present in the moment that you're living, and then when you have time and you're like on your me time, share it with the persons
Yeah.
from the other life. So that's
Yeah.
how I've been managing.
Nice. I'm sure actually a lot of people are struggling with this. So I love the simplicity of this message because
Mhm.
when you apply it, it gets great effects, I think. So thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that.
Sure.
Hey, Anna, if there are any Latin people listening to this who want to migrate to Germany and they want to find your help, how can they find you?
Oh, well, that's pretty simple. For now, I'm on Instagram and on TikTok and also on Spotify. And you could find me on Instagram as Ana Point La Point Alemana. So
Mhm.
it's Anna the German in
Yeah.
Spanish, with points in between. You can write me a DM, or you can also go to Spotify and listen to my podcast called Life in Germany, or in Spanish, La Vida en Alemania, and also learn a little bit about my journey and the journey of other people in Germany. So yeah, I will love that.
That's amazing. I will put it in the show notes so that people can find you. And I thank you so much for being here. I love connecting with you again. I hope this is not the end of our journey together. I'm sure I will see you somewhere again. Yeah. And I love seeing you grow from the sidelines, and I'm applauding you as always. And thank you for sharing your
Oh,
story here.
thank you so much, Amanda. I think our story together is not over. I just remembered the first time you made me act as a coach in your live event. Remember about that?
Act as a coach. Did I know? I don't remember this.
You told me like present yourself to the people
Oh,
that are
yeah.
here
Sorry. Now,
as a
yeah.
coach.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
And
So, yeah. Yeah. Subtitles for the people. So, I knew, Anna, you had already had this dream of, I want to become a coach and help Latinos migrate to Germany. And you were still trapped, I guess, in your corporate and identity and a bit of like
Mhm.
fear and stuff. And so when you joined my live event, coming from Germany to Amsterdam, where you knew no one, with our networking drinks afterwards, I told you, go present yourself as the coach you want to become, not as the current you. And
Yeah.
what did it do for you?
It was so crazy. It felt so uncomfortable. And I remember your friend, she told me like, oh, but it feels so real. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
it's fake.
Yeah.
And I mean, it wasn't fake, but it was so weird. And now presenting myself on a podcast as an actual coach,
Yeah.
it's mind blowing. Two and a
Yeah.
half years later. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to give that there.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. And it's it's such a simple tool that anyone can do. Go just present yourself to the as the person you want to be and get, because one, you'll find the confidence later on to do it again. And also you'll get to tap into that energy already. And it's such a nice way to practice. So yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
sharing this little story.
Sure.
Okay, thank you, Anna. Talk to you soon then.
Thank you, Amanda. Talk to you soon.